Good morning to you. And if you're in the city of Nairobi, I'm going to tell you need to move to easy says that Islando kwa sababu kajua Kameland.
Oh.
Yeah, Kamelando. You're hanging out to the morning vibes people, the cool one Kwambox, the dumb one Bunde.
Kwambox. You know it's a it's a Friday. It's a Monday. Imagine Monday kwa holiday.
Yeah.
Monday, which is at times the worst day for most guys, because weekend umetesa kabisa, umetumbua.
Would you say kuna mse anatoka kwa club say anatesa kutesa? Anasema the last drinks. But remember guys, be responsible. This holiday we're saying just get some rest because I'm kesho.
Kesho uko job by the way.
It's a cray. So make sure rest. But in the studio right now, of course, we're telling you use #VybezMVP to speak to us, or you can call us up 0719012700. We got some interesting stories to tell you, y'all, especially about Mashujaa Day. Let me tell you something that's just awesome during Mashujaa weekend. Airtime.
Yes.
Bundles. Lots and lots of bundles. Other people call it bundles when they're trying to bundle you up into some, random thing. But Telkom, when they say they're hooking you up with a weekend data plan, they bundle you up. Listen, 1.5 GB for just 70 bob. Uneza hata bonga na aliens. Na bundles isiishe. That's what we're talking about. Best Telkom bundle in town is a weekend data plan. With just 70 bob, you get 1.5 GB. Now, we got 1,000 bob Telkom airtime want to hook you up with. And all you have to do is tell us, tukikusaidia na 1.5 GB, utadu nini nayo? Utadu, to me, #VybezMVP, and this airtime could be yours.
Shout out to Vybez ule wa mtaa, anasema he's tuned in all the way from Korogosho. We also have Abel Osoro, anasema director from Kawangware. Helen Obiri from Kisii.
Yeah.
Should also be recognized as well. Kwambox. There's a guy called Juguna. I will reduce volume kidogo.
Okay, let me reduce.
Anasema Kwambox is my shujaa.
Oh, you guys, I wasn't ready. Oh, that's so cute. Thanks, Njuguna. All right, as we get into things, we've got guests in studio. Guests in my headphones, We've got guests in studio. I want you to each introduce yourself and I'll tell you who they are.
Hi, my name is Magunga Williams. I'm a writer.
You've been here before?
Yeah.
Yes, Bana.
Yes, Bana.
My name is Ngartia.
Ngartia.
Storyteller. I brought you stories last time. I'm back with some more.
Yeah, man. And you came with a lady this time.
Yes, my name is Gathoni, or you can call me Queen Gathoni. I am a producer and a scriptwriter.
Yeah, man. All right. So the reason the three of them are in studio with us is we're doing a Mashujaa weekend special, which means we will be sharing some stories from... this Kenya kuna stories. Just the other day when you were here, you shared with us some amazing stories.
Yes.
Which people had never heard of. I think my favorite was of the guy who took the benzo.
Oh, yeah?
And went for 20 years. I'm just like...
crazier one.
No, I actually... Baby, after that story... let me tell you. Nikapitia DT Dobi.
Uko na Ben sasa? Ai.
Niko na court case.
Vybez Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
Google has Kiswahili.
Mwanachama.
Vuguvugu. Ulikuwa unajua vuguvugu ni nini? Vuguvugu. Nafikiri ni yule mse wa P-Unit. Acha hizo. Vuguvugu ni cool. It's a cool. You learn something new every day. You're hanging out with the morning vibes people Kwambox and Bunde. And a shout out to you pali huko. Remember kama unataka kuzungumza nasi #VybezMVP ama unaweza kwenda kwenye Facebook ama sura za uso. Na uso za kitabu cha sura. Sura kitabu.
Sura kitabu.
Na pia si sura ni chapter.
Nasa Twitter ni ndege nini? Ndege ile ya blue.
Wewe useme tu Twitter.
Ndege samawati ama blue kwa.
Okay, and that was the last time you'll hear Brian Bunde on the show. Remember VybezRadio KE hapo Facebook. Unaweza zungumza nasi. Watu wanasema nini huko?
Shout out to Chris Beats. Anasema he's listening from Udhiru and he's saying he holiday. Ni kuserereka tu kabisa. Then Kelishia Kenti. And I wish a happy Mashujaa Day to all the MVPs.
Yeah man, Mark Remeke anasema nategea siku utapita na hiyo ukuta. Anaongea kapao.
Siku pita na mimi. Hey, Kwambox.
All right. As we promised, we've got some crazy stories for you. Shout out to guys from Too Early for Birds. First, can we just talk about how you guys had a sold out weekend?
Yes.
Yeah. How was that?
The producer should talk about
Hey.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
We had an amazing audience.
Yeah.
And they were so present. It's sometimes, you find an audience, people come in, they're bored to death.
Why?
But sometimes people are just not in the mood. They came. I mean, nilibaitiko, wacha tu ni show up.
Aye.
But this audience, every audience we had was amazing.
Nice. I've been to one of your shows. I couldn't be at that one. I was emceeing at that time. But I decided, since I missed the show, let's make our own special right here. And for those of you who are tuned in right now, if you've never heard of Too Early for Birds, this guy is way in Kofupi. Well, how would you describe Too Early for Birds?
Well, Too Early for Birds is a show about history, Kenyan history, and the idea is to tell stories about people in Kenyan history that you probably never heard about, or people you heard about but you didn't know their full story, because what you're taught in school, what you hear around is not the complete picture. So if you want to get the complete picture, you come to Too Early for Birds.
All right. So nyinyi mkona uhondo basically.
Yes.
As in nyinyi ndio wale kukurukakara za biniribada. You got the juice.
We have the vugu.
I am ready for the first story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tuende kazi.
All right, so the first story is about a guy called J.K. Bogwa, or simply Kiarie wa Jockey, or well, as he's known in Kiabu, Kiarie Muishi, which literally translates to Kiarie the Thief.
Wow.
But so his name explains how this story comes to happen, right? So in the late 70s and the early 80s, Kiarie is said to be like one of the most popular and what's that word for people who do things a lot and succeed? Infamous divs in Kiabu and in Kenya in general.
Yeah.
So there's a legend that Kenyatta had even given him a license to steal after he stole his ring.
What?
But that's just a legend, right?
Wait, hold up. Kiarie stole the president's ring.
Allegedly.
How did he do that? He's like, let me shake your hand. Ooh, and now you go.
Now you're ringless.
What?
Yeah, one ring to rule them all, I guess. But that's the legend.
Yeah.
This is the true story. So as a result of, his business, quote unquote, he ended up owning a lot of land. And some say the land includes what's now the Jubilee headquarters in Pango, right? Magunga said that says a lot. But
Magunga
Umesikia
says.
sauti yangu?
Magunga says.
Umesikia nikisema kitu?
Under the bus.
yes, but here's the thing. So in the early 80s, there was a regime change, right? And the ruling crew was no longer from Kiambu.
Yeah.
And they were trying to break the Kiambu hold, the Kikuyu hold on the economy,
Yeah.
right? So as a result, Kiarie started losing land. Like people were just like grabbing his land. It's like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
That's not cool. So what? I know a guy. I'll speak to a guy. It just so happens that the guy he wanted to speak to was just the president of the country, Daniel Toroitich arap Moi. Yes.
Okay.
So he gets an appointment. He shows up at State House. His private conversation with the president, who's just sipping coffee in his private office in State House. And Kiarie just opens his briefcase, is checking title deeds, like, hata hii ni yangu, even this one is mine, nini, kuna ingine hapa chini. He chucks a gun from the briefcase, places it on the table.
Wait, what?
Bwana, hata hii title deed.
Alitoa gun kama power bank.
Technically ni power bank. Somebody was shook. It's like, what the hell? This dude came with a gun in my office in State House.
Kwani hao bodyguards walikuwa wanafanya nini? Walikuwa tu wanafanya ile kitu ya chui.
Hakuwa na hiyo chui hiyo time. Uko fresh niko fit ya ingia. So Moi rushes the meeting, right? And afterwards, this guy is asked, why did you have a gun? And Moi is like, guy, I forgot to remove it from the briefcase. But it wasn't even loaded. Just check.
What?
Right? And he got away with it.
Okay. This is super. I thought you were searched. Before you meet the president.
Na aliachiliwa kwa sababu tu haikuwa na bullets.
Unajua kuna watu walifanya wasimu kwa sewage kwa sababu walikuwa wanaenda kukaribia hii mashujaa celebration, na kuna mwingine alienda na gun paka kwa president. Hey, listen, we got more mashujaa crazy stories for you. Sit back, relax, tayarisha uji ziteremke.
Nobody can stop reggae. Vybez Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
Idris Kwambokes' Elba.
Hey.
26 minutes past 7 a.m. Mr. Kiku Agunam to say asubi. Aye, mind your own shujaz. What is happening? I know he's married, but he's African, man. There's more space for other women.
Lakini kwa box, you and people who are married, honor conscience. Honor Idris Elba.
Me conscience, me Sakangi conscience. I with a clear conscience, I cannot be going after that man. What are you talking about?
Umesawendo the reason why alikuja kako single then akarudi akisema ha psych.
He's back with his wife.
Yeah.
But they won't say that. He's playing with my conscience. Anyway, you know what's interesting?
Yes.
So Idris Elba, this is a fun fact. How me and Idris Elba are actually linked. Idris Taylor is also my tailor. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you simmer with that. Yeah, when you're not Idris Ngo, you need to pia. Aha, yeah. So sorry, basi. I am George Roshira. Says with airtime need to subscribe bundles EG 3.5 GB imenitosha ku update PC na kupata tutorials za aki things zenye amesema hapo YouTube. So maze George ungegeti something lakini umesema 3.5 GB. Hiki tu ni 1.5 GB, eh? GB. Where do GB stands for what?
Great Britain.
So you're a smart guy.
He's a colonized guy.
All right, remember, we're giving you a chance to win 1,000 bob telecom airtime. So I need to see the most creative answer, and it's 1.5 GB. If we gave you this 1.5 GB, how would you spend it? We've got guests in studio.
Yes, and in studio we have guys from Too Early for Birds.
Yeah.
And hey, by the way, story are guns. What? Don't worry, in the next 2 hours, we're just going to be sharing good vibes only. And remember, you can join in on the conversation using the hashtag VybezMVP and also call us on 0719012700 kutuambia venye hii story mazizi na kushtua ama which other stories do you want to hear about from them.
Let me ask you guys, who's the most famous gangster who's ever been in Kenya?
That would probably be the trio, Washosho, Wanogo, and Rasta.
Oh, Wanogo.
Yeah.
I've heard of Wanogo, man. Yeah.
Those guys were something else.
Yeah. What were those guys stealing?
Money from banks.
Oh, they were bank robbers.
They were bank robbers.
I mean, in this day and age, do we still have bank robbers?
I don't know. We have politicians.
I mean, we have G4S, but then I don't make these rules. I don't make the rules. I just see things. But bank robbers squeeze mtu unasikia ati mtu ameingia kuna mse KU for first year. Ameingia hapo kwa room hana wanaitwa help amemnyima do. Mama wake amempatia do wamekula na mabishta yake huko freshers bash. So now he doesn't have school fees. He's like, what do I do? You know what? Let me just check into KCB for 2 seconds. Na computer. Ametoka na 40 million. That's what we're calling bank robbers. How we don't want to go squeezy.
How about those guys from Juja?
Which? Oh yes.
Until they get tunnel and then couldn't disappear. What?
Those.
Now to Nairobi West.
Ase wa Juja wakadig tunnel alafu hakutoka. Hiyo ndio sasa ufala. Yeah, hiyo ni ufala. Anyway, but I'm ready to hear another thug story.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, this one now is specifically for the Juja guys. Inspiration. This is what they couldn't figure out. The disappearing part.
Okay.
Right, so it's Mashujaa Day. So let's start. So there's a Shujaa in Ugunja County. He's a guy who pays for kids' school fees. He builds like toilets and stuff and all that. But here's the thing: most people don't know is that over 10 years ago, this guy drove up to JKIA to the air freight company.
Yeah.
So where like it's like what? It's like safe border but for ndege.
Like cargo.
Yes, it's cargo. So back then banks would fly in dollars in actual
for real
cash.
I thought they'd come through ATMs.
No.
Wow.
Me, I thought it was M-Pesa. So but here's the catch.
So they used to actually carry the cash even.
Yes, but they would disguise it as regular luggage. So it wouldn't be in like a special
so
place.
anyway kwa place
It's
like
like
to
disguise.
tampons hivi.
So inamakiwa fragile.
Or technically venye pesa uvunjwa unajua.
Wanaweka kwa thermos ya chakula hivi. Okay. Fridge ni kwa kifridge hivi.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's this bank called Citibank that had flown in $1 million. This is 1997. So
Whoa,
$1
that's
million
a whole lot of money.
was like what, 54
Was like $1 billion
back then. It's like $100 million now.
Yeah.
So they fly it in. There's like an office where it's usually taken, and then their agents who are Wells and Fargo back then, the G4S for that time would go and take it, right? But this one comes in like a weekend. So these guys don't go and pick it.
Yeah.
But then this guy drives up to JKIA, gets checked, no gun, nothing.
Yeah.
Just shows up at the office. He has a few papers, shows them. These guys are like, yeah, the papers are good. They give him $1 million and he drives out. Just like that. This guy was called Charles Omondi Odhiambo.
What?
These guys didn't know they had been robbed for 3 days.
Wait, hold up.
This was like on like a Friday. That was what you can. Anyone who's listening can check. It was January 5th, 1997. Check mtuambie ilikuwa siku gani.
Wait, mtu alichukua pesa $1 million akadisappear nayo
Na bila gun.
And for 3 days hakuna mtu aliconfirm. Okay, hii pesa mimi unajuanga nikitumanga thao kwa mtu lazima ni confirm jina, namba nini then kuna kutoa.
You know what they say? The real no real. Hey!
Vybez Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
I know they say we rise. Like, you don't have to rise to go anywhere. It's a holiday. Just chill there. Ask guys who have already risen for you. Brayo, have you risen?
I'm not the only thing that has risen.
19 minutes to 8 a.m. You're hanging out with Kwambokes Mbunde, and we've got the crew from Too Early for Birds. We're sharing some stories from our history. And what better time than Mashujaa weekend when you're at home trying to figure out what makes a Shujaa. Well, there's some people who definitely did not make Shujaa Dome, y'all. Did make it. I know that one day, I can foresee this. You know, I can see into the future. I know that one day, maybe like 50, 60 years from now, the year will be 2070 something. And there'll be radio presenters sitting there. Oh, what did Mashujaa Day look like in 2018? Well, there was the hero, the unsung hero. He was the guy that stood for democracy. The guy weathered the storm. 6 hours, Githeri man. Githeri man is in the history books, guys. You need to know that. Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
The guy was just suffering with a hangover.
Maze. I mean, but you know, there's someone who told me Kwambokes that I'm a hater. Because every other person who had a hangover, then they just woke up and say, but this guy braved through the hangover, carried his lunch in a paper bag, alitafuta microwave lakini kukuwa na akakuleo Githeri kagi mjogo na soap na suti oversize and now he's a hero. Shujaa. It's a country of Shujaas, man. Got so many heroes. Eliud Kipchoge, Mama Kayai, Githeri man. What you talking about? Are you ready to give us another story?
Yeah, sure.
We're ready. Let's go.
All right, so let's go away from the crime and do actual Shujaas now. So there's a lady we barely talk about from the 70s.
Because you know we don't talk about ladies. What you talking about?
Let's talk about them.
Okay.
Let's talk about ladies. Her name is Philomena Chelagat Mutai.
Did you just make her up?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Have you ever heard about her?
Philomena. Alikuwa anasomea.
Alikuwa anazifeel.
Philomena.
But here's the thing, Philomena, in the 70s, it's crazy to be a woman and a politician today.
Yeah. Oh, wait, was she the one who was locked up and... I love this story. I love this story. Let's go.
So, Philomena is known for her stand against political assassinations, and this was right after Mboya had been killed, JM had been killed. So, talking about that stuff back then was like unheard of, but she stood against it. She also spoke against land grabbing at the height of land grabbing and corruption back when we were designing corruption. And she championed for better governance and inclusion of women in Kenya. Basically, as a country, we owe a lot to her. But this is my favorite part. When she won the elections, she was running against one of the more popular male and KANU leaders, and she beat him at the age of 24.
Yes.
24.
And it's from Uko Rift Valley, KANU stronghold.
24 ulikuwa unafanya
kwa changa mzinga
enjoyment.
At 24.
Hey. So there's this story we hear once in a while about the seven bearded sisters. But there's a group of MPs in parliament that Charles Njonjo called the seven bearded sisters. Weird thing is, all the people who are mentioned in that list are usually men, and that's why they're called the bearded sisters. But there's actually a sister
in the group
who's erased. Her name was Chelagat Mutai Philomena, and as a result of fighting for Kenyans and basically just being badass. Her life was threatened, and she had to leave the country. Her whole political career was frustrated, and when she came back, she just couldn't go back into that stuff.
Wow.
But we owe a lot to her.
Shelagat Mutai. She's the late Shelagat Mutai.
Yes, she died in 2013.
All right, we're going to know more about her and what broke her spirit.
Vybez Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
Four minutes past 8 a.m. Hey, tunenangangari nanyi. I hope your Mashujaa weekend Monday plan nini is going to... What do you call this holiday? Ya leo.
Mashujaa Monday. Mashu Monday.
What?
Mashu Monday.
Sijakwambia utengeneze jina hapa. I'm just asking you what you call it though.
After hangover, the hangover Mashujaa Day. Yeah.
Sasa I think ndio mashunja. Najua sasa leo ushajaza hizo mashujaa nini sasa hii sasa ndio ya kuchill.
Njaa Rastafari.
Yes. Make sure you guys get some rest because this week is going to be one of those short but very hectic weeks in terms of utakuwa unasema mbona Tuesday si holiday? Mbona Wednesday si holiday? Na Friday kombali. Oh, ndio Friday. Yeah, so get some rest. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure toka kwa club. It's 8 a.m. surely. Unafanya nini kwa club? Just go home.
Acha kudak landlord.
Okay, so of course remember you can hit us up using #VybezMVP. Na tuko na stories zingine noma. I hope you're learning something. We got two early for buds in studio and they're sharing with us those stories that you probably never heard of but actually happened. Kenyan stories we've had from gangsters who've done some crazy things and now we're going to be talking about actual mashujas.
Yes.
All
right, so in 1969, there's a guy who wrote a letter to Kenyatta.
69 was a very good year.
Well, everyone who's come to the show.
If you know what I mean by this. Yeah. What were you saying?
Everyone who's come to the show knows that line. There's a line that goes, 1969
was a very good year.
Hell of a year.
Oh, hell of a year.
Yes. So... in 69, the hell of a year, this guy writes a letter to the president of the country, Jomo Kenyatta, and he's asking for a piece of land to be issued back to him.
Okay.
And Kenyatta ignores him. I was like, well, it's just another random Kenyan asking for but
land.
He wasn't just another random Kenyan. His name was Mohammed Hassan. He was a Kenyan of Somali descent. He had been one, like, his life is just like fasts. Like he was one of the first Somali and Muslim students at Starehe. He was he was probably the only Somali thrown into detention by the British colonialists during Mau Mau.
Wait, there were Somalis in detention?
Yes.
I thought like it was only Kuyos.
No, it wasn't. It was Somalis
and some
Indians and Luos and like there was a lot of people.
Wait, there was Indians?
Yes.
I thought Indians were like, you know,
the Asian community held up the protests and the independence struggle, especially in Nairobi. Doing that. So guys like Pioga Mapinto, Fitzgerald Remedio, Santana Neville de Souza,
Malkiat Singh.
Mark and Singh.
Malkiat Singh alikuwa anatoka.
No, it's a joke.
But Mark and Singh did some really nice stuff fighting for Kenyans. Anyway, Mohammed Hassan. So Mohammed Hassan had this so he had to drop out of school when his dad died, so he started a business in Juja before Juja was Juja. But even back then it was really lit. It's the thing, like his dukas called the Juja Dukas were known to be like one of the most lit areas. Literally
lit as in a steamer.
In those days, in the 40s and 50s. There was a petrol station, there was a hotel, there was really inclusive.
He had a petrol station in the 40s?
In the 40s.
For the 5 cars that were driving around Nairobi.
And the one Coco. So and that's the hotel and the Dukas are where Mau Mau fighters would make stopovers, and where all these other freedom fighters, Kenyatta, Kau leaders, and he gave them financial support, gave them food, gave him moral support. He's in one of the most popular pictures of the Kau leadership. And as a result of that, when everyone got arrested and other people getting killed,
he got arrested.
He got arrested. But that wasn't enough. So they took his land, took his property.
These are the colonialists.
Colonialists, and they made sure that when he was in prison, his family was just destitute. And they made sure when he came back out, he wouldn't support them. He wouldn't have the financial capacity to support the freedom fighters. But then when he came out, freedom also came, right? So it only makes sense for him to get his land back and be rewarded.
Yeah.
But he wasn't.
What?
He wasn't.
He
And-
wasn't even given Elder of the Moran Manenos?
not even. Gidariman got that. Mohammed Hassan didn't.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so let me get this straight. There's a guy who went to the election line last year with a packet of giberi.
Yes.
And he got a state commendation. And there's a guy who helped with freedom fighting. And aliambiwa tu aende huko.
He couldn't even get his land back. 6 years later, after independence, he could not get his land back from a guy he'd personally assisted.
Can you imagine? This guy must have died a broken man.
He did.
Like father, like son, eh?
Vybez Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
You're hanging out with the Morning Vibes people, Kombokes and Bunde. And we've got Too Early for Birds. The crew are in studio with us. Yo, just, celebrating Mashuja and just, telling you some stories that you probably never heard of. And, before the mics went on, we were talking about, can you imagine the white man came to Africa? Beautiful continent. Beautiful, beautiful continent. And then saw some beautiful skinned people. And then he was like, ooh, you know what? I have a fabulous idea. I've got these farms of this land that I, confiscated called America. Then I have this other land called Brazil and, South America. I want to put sugarcane plantations there. But honestly, I don't feel like digging. You dig? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and figure out how these people can go there against their free will. I'm going to ask them if they would like to go against their free will.
Free will ama aliwapatia free trip. Aliambia, hey, by the way, situni tuangalie hii side kuna kitu nataka kuwashow.
Imagine, and our own people are people who would put there as the leaders, the Watus, the ones who would be negotiating on our behalf. Go there and they're like, ati nini? Ati munataka kutupeleka wapi? Apana. Okay, we've got salt. Tasted food with salt for the first time and they're like, unataka watu wangapi?
Chukua mbunde. Kwanza ni wawili.
Let me tell you what's interesting. Unajua hizi mwavuli zenye wanawekanga kwa on top of a like place ule smoky cellar akiuza ile. Imagine one umbrella like that, 15 people. You need to go to West Africa and see the gates, the point of no return. And you see the stories. One umbrella.
Hata usiende mbali. Enda hapa Bagamoyo, Tanzania. That place is called Bagamoyo because ulikuwa unabwaga moyo. Like umetolewa inland, you umetrek for like months from inland to the shore. When you get there, you've lost all hope. You're in despair. That's why it's called Bagamoyo.
Wow, I thought that's where they were bagging the hats, like Bagamoyo.
Wow.
Yeah, take those souls and never bring them back.
For that. You really thought?
I didn't even think. No time for thinking. But yeah, so that's our history. But what we're telling you about is right after the white man bounced, when we start making our own history, these are the stories we have for you here in studio. You ready to tell us an story?
Yes. I actually think we should go right back to when the white man was here.
Okay, let's do it.
So I'm gonna let you guys decide if this is a hero.
First, hold on. Let's decide here right now. The collaborators wakaika side moja. No, wewe collaborator. Collaboratings. It's just me and him who are not Magunga.
I offered to
we are the ones fighting to
guys.
But he wanted to maliza me.
Wait, you first. Just shh.
Aya, you guys tell me if this is a hero or a collaborator.
Okay.
Right? Aya, let's go back to the stories of women. So there's a legend we learned about in school. So I don't even know why they were teaching us legends in history classes, because it wasn't a true story.
Okay.
About how the Kikuyu system changed from matriarchal to patriarchal, right? And the story of a woman called Wagwa Makeri.
Yeah.
So the story we learned in the Malkiat Singh books was not the actual story, because
an Indian was telling the story. A man was telling the story. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
But oh wow, look at me. So the actual Wangu wa Makeri existed from the mid 1850s to the early 1910s.
Okay.
Right? And there was a chief called Karori in the sides for Muranga. Back then, and Wango was married to Makeri, but Karori and Wango had a thing going on, right? And Karori was a senior collaborator chief, right? But then, because that land was so big, the colonialists were like, "Hey, we need another chief. We need a headman. We need a headman to help you, like, figure things out.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, there's a pal of mine called Makeri. I have a thing with his wife, but I really like him, so he can be the headman.
Yeah.
Probably.
I've been given head. Shut up. They're just there.
She's just trying to get ahead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Makeri was like, me, I don't want this headman story,
Yes.
right? But Wango was like, you know what? I can take that thing up.
Yeah.
The head.
What are we talking about?
Up the post.
You see,
Okay.
Oh, guys.
this
Wait.
is PG radio,
What's that?
okay?
Guys.
Uh-huh.
It was like, I can take the job up,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? So she got offered the
Head.
the post
Okay.
of the head woman.
Yes,
now, okay?
yes.
And she took it up and she started doing the job. It's fantastic. She was the only woman in such a position of power, at least within the Kikuyu community during the colonial era.
Yeah.
She became really powerful. When the taxes were introduced, she's the one who enforced them, made sure
Yeah.
everyone paid, everyone toed the line.
Yeah.
She used to use men as chairs.
Yeah.
Like you pick a magoti, get on your hands, sits on you
Yeah.
and like runs her business.
That's what I'm talking about, girl.
So
Get
she
your
was
paper.
information
Yes.
mbaya sana. So that was between say 1902 to 1909, right? And she became infamous up to the part where the name Wango Makeri was almost, it meant the same thing as oppressor, right?
Yeah.
And in 1909 she was kind of overthrown. So there are two stories. So one was that she danced naked in a dance that was supposed to be only for men, and then there's another story that it was actually orchestrated and she just joined the dance and someone slashed her skirts. And so she was overthrown. It's like, oh, this is too much
That
scandal.
sounds more like it.
The second one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so she ended up being thrown out of power,
Wow.
died a few years later, but she is still like one of the leading women in positions of power.
To
From
date.
yes, so the question is she a hero or was she just an oppressor?
You know what? I know we've got everything that we want to say, but I'm going to let Don Penn take this one. From that story umesikia, Ode Mwango Makeri ni collaborator ama ni hero? You be the decision maker, but I'm going with Don Penn and I'ma say
Vybez Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
ni kama drama, ni kama movie, ni kama video. That is Leave People Business, Chris Martin and Romy and Vago. Umelan kipatoa squeeze. Chris Martin, yeah. Listen, you're hanging out to the Morning Vibes people, Kwambokes and Bunde. It's now 5 minutes to 8 a.m. We're still telling you stories of mashujas that you need to know about. I think I like the story, the previous story that we just said. And I want to ask this question, especially to the listeners. Kama ingekuwa time ya colonialism sahi, tuseme sahi ingekuwa 1962. No, 1958 hapo. Tumechoka na wazungu, tumechoka kuchoka. Ungekuwa upande gani? Ungekuwa wewe ndio wa kupigana kwa Bush ama wewe ndio wa collaborate? I just want to ask guys here and be honest. Would you collaborate or would you go out of the bush and fight?
Ingekuwa tu kwa nyumba.
Mimi najua ni collaborator wewe.
Mimi
Wewe ka Paramount chief wewe.
kwa box mimi nauza nyinyi wote. Kwanza kwa box ako huko amejificha Langata. Hadi nawachorea map. Ni
Nyuma ya 80.
Gathoni? Yeah.
But I think I'd be fighting. I'd be in there fighting.
Okay.
Yes.
Me, I'm the one who take out Mbunde.
Yeah.
The problem with my history with Kenya Police,
Yeah.
I will probably be fighting,
Yeah.
but not because I feel brave
Yeah.
to go fight. It's just something stupid will happen, and then nitashikana mashati na karao, and then it will just go downhill from there.
From there.
Because that has happened more than enough times.
Never go to a protest with this guy.
Oh
Yeah, you're getting arrested.
3 of the times nimekula tiagas ni kwa sababu Magunga started some stuff.
Wow. Wow. All right. So I know who definitely to be hanging out with and who not to be hanging out with. You know, I gotta be honest. I'm more like him. There are things that piss me off to a point I cannot continue. You see, like, for example, colonialism was stopping people from moving. Mimi hata hii office tag. Security wameniambia mara ngapi niweke kwa shingo. Mimi si mahabusu. Unanielewa? Kipande systems is very nice. So I think small things like that and I'm not really good with authority. So I think where's your ID? And I'm like, and that right there is why we're getting independence. Just like that.
Freedom.
Yeah. So yeah. Nah, because God ali decide nizaliwe time ya independence. All right, speaking of independence, you can independently check this. If you dial *544# on your Telkom line, you can get yourself a 1.5 GB data plan for just 70 bob. Imagine that. No. Don't take my word for it. Take your bundles for it. Remember, Telkom is hooking it up big time. 70 bob gets you 1.5 GB, and that's no lie. Now here, Brayo amesema anataka hook up now 1,000 bob Telkom airtime. What they got to do for it?
Just share with us using the hashtag VybezMVP on our Facebook page and also on our Twitter account. And tuambie the most creative way. Ukipatia hii 1,000 bob worth of Telkom airtime, what would you do? How would you spend it on? Utaenda download V2, uende research, what would you do with it? Just share with us, and the best creative answer wins 1,000 bob worth of Telkom airtime. 1,000 bob. 1,000.
Vybez Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
Yeah, man, it's 29 minutes past 8 a.m. Damien Gong Jr. Mali. But I want to tell you about Sean Paul. Now, Sean Paul is being feted by the president in Jamaica.
Yes.
And apparently, Sean Paul is the kind of guy who's taken dancehall and reggae music to the world. So he's going to be honored by the Jamaican government tomorrow, for his contribution to global entertainment. And the order is called the Order of Distinction, one of the nation's highest orders. Okay, so Nonaka ya Kipchoge, sasa ya Jamaica.
Wow. But this guy has been singing from 1994.
But that's what he said when he said he's going to get busy. Okay? 30 minutes past 8 a.m. There's more great tunes on the playlist. But shout out to everybody who's reaching at us throughout the show. Hashtag VybezMVP.
Hey, we have Evans. How come this chick Wangu Makeri? Yeah, how come she's been feted for what she was doing and she's not? Okay, why didn't you include opportunist in your options? Wangu was more of an opportunist, and I wouldn't classify her as a collaborator.
All right, yes. Shout out to Nyarsoni for that one. Where Paul as well tuning in says is listening in from Nyeri. Absolutely loving the conversation, guys. How do we answer this one? Gathoni, what do you have to say about this?
Honestly, I think I wouldn't call her an oppressor or an opportunist, because at that time, women were not to be heard.
Yeah.
They were just to be seen. But the fact that she stepped up and took up the job and did what was supposed to be done for that job, she is a hero.
Also, keep in mind, her husband was offered the job, and then he was
and
like,
he turned it down. Westman.
And this,
so she stepped up. Someone had to do it.
Yeah, man.
She did.
And she did.
Yeah.
She did. Okay, I guess it's kind of easy to see it from this perspective. But then, Nyarsoni, I'm going to ask you this. If you were in the colonialist times, would you be a collaborator or an
opportunist?
Would you same as a collaborator? Would you fight for independence, or would you be the one who just says, "Well, nipatie Paramount chief one and paramulate sahi hapa"? Nixon Kanali says, hey, what's up? What's good? Shout out to everybody who's tuning in right now. Kenya has rich history, but a lot of people don't know anything about this history. Malkiat Singh alituandikia zake. Like even Tom Mboya's story.
Yeah.
You know, Tom Mboya's story is so interesting.
Yep.
When he was shot, there was a whole host of witnesses, but nobody saw anything.
Yep.
In broad daylight.
This guy was shot outside
65
archive.
witnesses.
Yeah, but then they're like, Nisi Kona. But snitches
get
stitches.
And the
Plus
those
he
ones
got
you
a
can't
road.
stitch.
Plus he got a road. Tomboya Road. Tomboya Avenue.
Straight.
Yeah.
Straight.
Yes, and a
And
statue.
a
Street
statue.
and a statue, which took a really long time, by the way.
Yeah.
There are more people who still haven't gotten zao mazi. Ndio ninakuuliza, imagine kuko na second wave of colonialism, mtafight.
Mi mbaya sana. Niko huko.
Hautai compensatiwa.
Hata sahi tunalipwa na exposure. Hata tofauti kwa
They only get roads and statues,
Yeah.
and most of them don't even live in good condition.
Yeah.
So it's I can't really say, like, what's her name? Masho Modoni
Modoni
say,
Wakerema,
we still don't have freedom.
Imagine.
Yeah, 'cause we can say we have freedom,
Yeah.
but we're still being oppressed.
True.
By our very own.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the only thing I usually say, for those who are like, no, man, this is the best times. I'm like, do you know how many people are unemployed? Yeah. And Dr. Kingori said something very interesting. I was watching his show the other day, and he said, you know, Kenyans were complaining about Mary Wambui being put as a Commissioner of National Employment Authority. And he was like, most of the Kenyans who are complaining are unemployed. What do you know about employment?
Vybez Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
Vybez Radio, and you hanging out with Kwambooks and Bunde, and you know the weekend kuna venye imeextendiwa, and you want to extend it for you thanks to Telkom, and you know they have the new weekend plan, and you can subscribe to it by just simply dialing star 544 hash, and for 70 bob you get 1.5 GB. And you know, as Vybez Radio, we want you to join in on the conversation, and we want to give you some free airtime. So just simply share with us on using the hashtag VybezMVP on Twitter and on Facebook. Share with us the most creative way you would spend the 1,000 bob airtime, and share with us how you would simply use it online. And for 1,000 bob worth of Telkom airtime, share with us.
I mean, your excitement is peaking, I gotta say, yo. You sound so excited, bruh.
1,000 bob airtime.
That's what I'm saying. It's 1,000 bob airtime. Listen, guys, we want to hook it up. Yani unaweza ongea paka na aliens. Sai uko na direct call paka to God because 1.5 GB. I'm telling you, it's the weekend plan. Telkom is hooking it up. Don't be left behind. Before the end of the show, we will be awarding one lucky person so that you can chat and go on bad. I'm learning some lingo. Here's Clay with chat and go on bad.
Vybez Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
It's now 15 minutes to 9 a.m. Ooh, see time inakimbia when you're having a good time.
Good time, udaku.
Yeah.
Good vibes only.
Yeah, man. So, in case you missed everything and you just tuned into the show first, welcome. Good morning, President Kingston. Tumekutayarishia mayai masausage ziko hapo.
Ndio kuamka.
Ndio kuamka. Ndio kurauka. Yes. So, yeah. In the next hour on my grind, we're going to be talking about something interesting. What do we want to be talking about?
We're going to be talking about when you have to start a business. What are the legal requirements that you need, especially in Kenya?
Yeah, so in case yani uko holiday mode, unasema hata kuna holiday mimi sikwangi na kazi. Well, labda uende ujifungulie biashara yako. We're going to tell you all the legal documents that you need. Ndio ukienda tu andika tu notes kwa tafuta kitabu na karatasi. We're going to be talking about that in the next hour. But shout out to guys who are getting in touch with us. Hashtag VybezMVP. Prince Karaoke hapo amesema the show is great. Positive vibes. I can see the lady who was asking us about Makeri. She says, I asked her if she would be a collaborator, and she said, I would be a collaborator. Alas.
Ruka watu mbio mbio.
Yes. Wa Kenya.
You're on the side of Wi-Fi.
If I see how our leaders are just said, you know, the version of colonialism is in 2019. If someone can go there and steal money that was meant for education, uyo ni mkoloni. Because there's people who are not going to have access to education. The CS of education was telling us last week, is it 800 million that has been disbursed that's going to, for the new curriculum, for exams and all that. But then he says there will be no money to distribute sanitary towels. Now, demo wanafaa kufanya waseme period zirudi. Period zikuje this year. Urudi tu 2020 kwa sababu hakuna budget.
Tutakwambia kukuwa na budget.
Yeah, but in the same breath kuna mtu aliiba do. Unanielewa? So mbona msisemee cheki kawa Waititu alikuwa anataka kurudisha do. Chukueni hizo do za Waititu mununulie madem sanitary towels. Yeah. So in terms of being a collaborator, me that's how I look at it. Mtu mwenye anatuibia, huyo ni collaborator. I'm ready for the last story of the day.
Yeah. Mashujade. Long weekend, so tufanye enjoyment. Kenyans have a long history with enjoyment. Right? Like enjoyment is so bad. At some point, there's a time Charles Njonjo, when he was AG, like caused chaos because he misplaced his beer mug. He had a silver beer mug. He went to a house party in Jenga Karume's house, and afterwards he couldn't find his beer mug. And he ordered the PC to find it, and the PC told the DC, and the DC told the DO, and someone had to go to Jenga Karume's kitchen and be like, where is the mug?
Karume akumjenge you mug.
He was mugged.
He was mugged, yo.
Lakini venye ilipotea selesema tu njoo.
Please.
Check acha tufanye tu
The
story.
last time.
Acha tufanye
The last
story,
time.
Please. No.
It's bad.
So that stealing thing. Things have been stolen in this country for a while, starting with the country itself.
Yeah.
But in 1909, two people stole two things in Nairobi.
Okay.
These two people, actually, let's start with that. These two people were Teddy Roosevelt, who's the former U.S. president, and his son, Kermit, who's not the frog. Yeah.
So was this after he was president?
He's after he was
So
president.
he was like, I need to retire. Where are we gonna go?
Safari.
Boss,
And they came to Kenya.
So he came to Kenya. He was staying in another colonizer's place, Macmillan. But the whole thing was just enjoyment. They were just drinking. But they were drinking at an awful, right? Yeah. But Macmillan's house was all the way in Juja, near Old Donyo So they would drink, but no superhighway back then. So it was like a really, really dusty road. They would drink up to like the wee hours of the morning and then drive all the way drunk to Macmillan's house. So on one of these days,
Hakukuwa na NTSA?
Hakukuwa na NTSA. Zilikuwa Simba hiyo time. Alcohol ni Simba. Inapita na So Macmillan was like, hey, these guys are going to get themselves killed, right? So he bought a house in Chiromo, which was Grogan's, but I think it's now within the UN campus.
Yes.
So he told them, hey, I have another house near Tao, you guys can sleep there, right? But here's the thing. There was no, like, the globe roundabout didn't really exist back then. So if you come from Norfolk, you had to go all the way to Koja and then now go to Chiromo. Okay. Now, there's a mosque called Koja Mosque.
Yes.
After which the Koja roundabout is named after. But it's not really next to Koja. But the initial one was right next to Koja, near to fire station.
Yeah.
And it was a really nice one. It was built by the Ismaili community, and it had like really nice stuff. 2 lion statues outside, nini. So this one night, Teddy Roosevelt and his son are plastered, and they're driving. They get into town. It's a moonlit night. They're just chapaying that karanda, and they're like, "Wait a minute, what are those? Those really nice statues. We are here to hunt lions, and those are lions. So what do we do? You guys, reverse the car. So you reverse the car, pick the statues, put them in the car, and drive off.
Whoa.
They go to Macmillan's house, they chomoa the statues, place them on the either side of the fireplace, and they black out.
Wow.
The next morning, the Ismaili community shows up for prayers at the mosque.
I guess they weren't smiling.
Nope.
Your statue's gone, yo. Someone desecrated your place of worship.
Yeah, your joke ni mbaya, like si mbaya sana. Anyway, so these guys, they blacked out. The Ismaili community like is mad. So the colonial authorities just panicked. They're trying to figure out who. Of course, they suspected us. There was a whole investigation. No one knows what happened, and they're like, okay, sawa. We'll. No one had seen anything, right?
Of course, you won't suspect the former president.
And they've blacked out. This whole time they're asleep, and for a few days, everyone is like, okay, this was a perfect crime. And then there's a party in that house, Macmillan's house, and an administrator shows up, and he's just taking his shots, just zungukaing, and right next to the statues or to the fireplace, he notices what? They're statues. Like, what the hell, you guys? What did you do?
What?
But then they can't. The headlines can't read former U.S. president robs Muslims.
And not just any president.
Yes,
The
Theodore
US.
Roosevelt.
in Africa, like
Yeah,
he came
man.
to rob
With
Muslims
his
in
son.
Africa. Yes.
Oh, my
so
God.
instead of these guys like picking the lions and like somehow secretly taking them back, they decide, you know what, we're going to bury them.
Wow.
So they take them all the way to Macmillan's plantation, which was 17,000 acres.
Juja.
In Juja.
Okay.
The whole of Juja town now used to be someone's farm. And they buried them somewhere.
No, I just need you to hold up first. You said the whole of Juja town used to be one person's farm.
Part of a bigger farm.
Wow.
This guy was trying to own Old Donyosa Book.
Okay.
Kilimambogo, the mountain.
Wow.
That's how much land he had.
That's Macmillan.
Macmillan, yes.
And we gave him the library.
Uguru penye
Okay,
Tomboya's-
That's where Tomboya was
That's
born,
where
actually,
Tomboya was
in
born.
that farm.
Okay.
So they took the two statues there,
Yeah.
they buried them deep in the Nini,
Yeah.
and that story was forgotten. Teddy went back, he died, Macmillan died, the Shamba was sold, and then years later, some of the guys who bought the shambas are just digging around and they chomoa these 2 statues.
Yeah.
They're like, hiya. And that's how we came to learn that it's Teddy who had actually stolen
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And where are those statues right now?
them. Well, we don't know, but they definitely not with the Ismailis. They were not given back.
Aren't they the statues that are outside the Macmillan Library right now?
No, but I think that's an inside joke. I think the guys who built the library were like, you know what we should put outside?
Wow.
2 lions.
I mean, like, look at those.
That is so crazy, guys. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us. I mean, your stories just inspire us to keep knowing what our history is, so we not repeat the same mistakes.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much for coming through. And I know you guys have a show on the 9th of November.
Yes, it's a repeat show
Okay.
for you. Yes.
So make sure, if you love the stories that were shared here, make sure you go and catch Too Early for Birds, and you can catch them live on stage. Follow them online. What's your handle?
It's Too Early for Buzz. The 4 is an actual number 4. We have more crazy stories there.
All right, we're going to tag them as well, so you can get to check them out and see when the next show is. Guys, thank you so much. Mini Melan's History Mob, or should I say History?